Nath, please get the round of applause ready for a force to be reckoned with in the Australian media landscape. Known for his no-nonsense takes and relatable style, this guest combines wit, satire and laugh-out-loud moments as he tackles the big issues from Canberra chaos to the quirks of everyday Aussie life. Through his platform, Punters Politics, he continues to empower Australians by making political information accessible and engaging, encouraging active participation in the democratic.
Jesus Christ, help me out with the first. How do you say that word, Konrad?
Do we live in a democracy?
Yeah. Is that one of the sausages? Please welcome to the show, Punter Konrad!
Hello, mate. Punters. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Konrad, we've been very excited to have you on this week because we know how intense the last few weeks has been for you, especially this week. How you going, mate? Have you slept?
Not as much as I would like to, but it'll be over in a few days.
It'll be over very soon.
Can I say that earlier in the week we had the current Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, on.
Oh, congrats. He hasn't come on the Punters podcast.
and I want you to know that he was easy to get the news.
Take that, Albo.
Yeah, we went, can we get Albo's people? Yeah, we'd love to. You're like, Mel, I'm travelling and I've got this on and that on. And
like, Konrad is more popular than the current Prime Minister in terms of people wanting to talk to him.
Vote one Konrad. I don't know if that's how it works.
Millennials a voting block? Oh, we better get one on. Where's the young bloke? Get him on. He knows
that one guy on the TikToks who does the political stuff.
Yeah, get him.
Well, I mean, Konrad, let's talk about how you got into this. Like, how did this whole thing start with, you being interested in, the way, I guess, election works?
Was it the How Dumb Are Aussies?
Yeah. How did this?
That was the beginning of it, right? Like, I used to be a teacher.
Yep.
Teachers, do it a bit tough. And ultimately, I was also interested in politics. I was teaching a lesson one class to the young punts in school.
Nice.
Yep.
And I was teaching them economics, and they were like, there was a rankings of how the government's performing on all these metrics, like clean water, clean air, poverty, all those things. I was like, oh, kids, this is 2017, it's 2020 now. How have we been doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, their assignments come back. They ranked the government.
Yeah.
We went backwards on everything. Yeah. And I was like, surely politics has got to be pretty simple. Does the government know this? So I made the kids as an assignment write letters to their MP being like, oi,
oh, great.
You got an F grade on this. Please explain.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what do you want me to tell them? Like, you want me to tell them that you're working with corporations and not the everyday Aussie punter? Like, you come in. Anytime you want to talk to my class, you can come in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what got me started in going, maybe politics doesn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some stuff we can understand. And then I started making Instagram reels about it. The first one was about oil and gas and royalties and how we're not getting our fair bloody shake of the sauce bottle when it comes to our resources. That hit a couple mil.
Yeah.
And that kind of began it. And then it blew up from there, and then all the kids at school knew I was on TikTok, and I lost my job.
Yeah.
You lost it. You got fired.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to be on TikTok.
Well, parents complain.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That you had an opinion? Was that the problem, though?
To this very day, I do not know.
No.
I asked the principal, who, to be fair, the principal was like, listen, I don't know why they're complaining. And I was casual teacher at the time, so easy to cut loose.
Yeah.
And so he was just like, I don't know why they're complaining, but they're complaining. And I'm like, I don't know if Gina Reinhardt's kids go to this school. She got some gas mines she wants to open up.
Did she want to sponsor the school netball team?
Maybe. I was standing in her way. Yes, the swim team was looking underfunded.
This little punt. I'm going to get rid of him. I'm going to give him the punt.
Yes. So the punt got the punt, and now I'm working full time for the punters.
Yeah, well, maybe the parents of those kids didn't have as many followers on TikTok, and they found you threatening.
The idea of complaining, like, I just get this, the principal gets phone call, I don't like him. Why? I don't know.
Because he's smarter than me, and now my kid is.
No, but that would be a reason.
That's it.
That would be a reason.
many
It sounds like
smart-ass
they're calling up just with no reason.
Yeah, my
Just don't want
kid's
him.
telling me we're getting scammed by the government.
Yeah.
No, it makes me feel uncomfortable.
But it's interesting you bring it up, though, Konrad, because I remember at school, I couldn't tell you who my local MP was. I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
Like, this is, pre-voting or even after I just turned 18 as well. I had zero idea.
Me too, mate.
Yeah.
Me too.
But
I'm a late bloomer.
But this is something we were never really, like, you kind of do those classes at school, but you don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I was teaching you. Yeah. And you didn't give a
We
shit.
didn't give a shit. Yeah, because we didn't, like, the teachers we had were kind of a bit, like, old school in it and probably took a more conservative approach in the way, and we'd just tune out.
Because every young one, your parents would complain and they would lose their job.
Yeah,
so the only ones left are the boring ones.
Yeah, exactly. When I was at school, they were on Bebo.
Oh, yeah, lots of Karens on Bebo, I hear.
I asked Bongo, how many seats are in the upper house, Bongo?
What have you found, since you've been doing a lot of this, what have you found some of the biggest questions to be that people are either reaching out to you for or that you've been answering?
Oh, I just think, the number one is who should I vote for? How do we the question is, how does this happen?
Yeah.
Why is everything getting more expensive?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is everything feeling like it's going downhill?
Yep.
That's the question. And that was the question my kids asked me when they looked innocently deep into my eyes. Sir, why? Does the government know we're going backwards on this stuff?
Yeah.
Consistently. And how do we get here? And that's kind of what birthed Punters Politics, because I'm trying to answer that question.
Do you tell people how to vote? Because I'm assuming they DM you and they go...
Yeah, they do. They do. I avidly don't say how to vote. I want to take punters from where you were and take them going, I don't know who to vote. I don't know where to start. I'm like, number one, anything the politicians say to you, ignore it.
Yeah.
It's all... They can lie. They can legally lie in political advertising. Yeah. So they'll tell you whatever they want to hear. I just want punters to go, what do you care about?
Yep.
What policy do you want? Check your politician's voting record just 10 minutes before you vote.
Yep.
And see what it is that did they vote for it or not. Vote for your own best interest. That's what I'm trying to sort of point people in the right direction of. And if you want to take recommendations from me, I want corporate lobbyists out of Parliament. I want big gas to be paying what they owe us after taking our gas for free. That's what I'm voting for.
Yeah.
So I won't tell you who to vote for, but I won't tell you who I'm going to vote for, but I'll tell you what I'm voting for.
Do you think people, because conversations I've had with people my age and younger, is they overcomplicate things as well. They'll be like, well, this person stands for this, and this. I don't understand what those things even mean, therefore I won't vote for them. But that doesn't mean that those things aren't relevant to them. Are you finding that as well? Like people are confused. Like there's a confusion over what these things actually mean.
Yeah, I think politics is deliberately made complicated. And they deliberately tell us that when we ask for something reasonable, like I had Chris Bowen, the energy minister, on the pod last week, and I was asking him.
Yeah.
Qatar made $78 billion out of their gas in 1 year. We made $2 billion.
Yeah.
Where the bloody hell's my dividend? Right? And he will tell me, and they'll tell me, oh, it's complicated, gas contract, sovereign risk, blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to communicate to punters. They're going to try and make you feel stupid because it is complicated. I'm not going to lie, it is complicated. But your job as a punter is not complicated.
Yeah.
You know what you want. You know when you're getting shafted.
Yeah.
That's it. I want to get my fair shake of the sauce bottle. It's your job to get it done.
We've chatted to a lot of prime ministers, premiers.
Over many years.
And off the record, not on the show, but off the record, when we've had a beer with them and in some sort of, there's an opening of a stadium, whatever, and you're there, they have told us that they say things long-winded. Do you know how they over-explain things? So they go long-winded and they say things that are confusing on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
it's a technique.
That is off the record. Nathan's been there where people have admitted to. Because Nathan and I asked, we go, when we have you on the show, you just fucking waffle.
Well, you ask one question and then they give
we
you
go,
5
why
minute
do you go
answer.
on? And then I'm like, and then you sort of it's very convoluted, right? You never, you sort of go over here. If you're driving the car, you're turning right, and they go, you know what? I'm going to indicate left now. And then literally they've gone to us off the record and said, hey, I'm doing that on purpose because if you just keep all the punters confused, they don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't know if they like you or not.
That's called a political maneuver.
Yeah.
That politicians pull. That is winding down the shot clock.
Yeah.
Because most airtime is short.
Correct.
Most media is short. They can just filibuster, look at the shot clock, dribble the ball at the top, and then
chuck up a three.
And then at the end, there it is. Anyway, mate. All right, I'm out of here. Sorry, guys.
It's true. It's a technique so they can avoid curly questions.
Yeah.
You get off.
Did Albo do it to you, bloke?
Oh, they all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Albo? 10 minutes later. That's enough time for you today.
And then his people they're like, because he's got another chat, so they're like, got to wind it up now. And I'm like, he's spoken for 10 minutes.
Yes.
They're like,
yes. And it's really hard to get in edgeways and kind of talk about that. It's a problem, but they're the skills that they pull off. I don't know if you saw P. Dutt's latest political maneuver.
Oh, being stuck in a bus.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't ask. He did it on purpose. I couldn't get to the interview.
Into someone's head. No, not those ones.
Oh, that's one of the kids' punter talk. Brain dead.
That's what I would do at school. That's really why I lost my job. I'm like, oh, Jimmy, here we go. Falcon. No. What he did recently was journalists asked him a question. Yeah. Hey, why are you dodging difficult questions? Next question.
Oh, no. That's cool.
I think it's the D Trump. You know, D Trump really asserts his dominance. Donald Trump over the media.
Yeah.
You shut up. I think Dutton's trying to really, and it's like, no, next question. You. That's a good question. I like you. I mean, good play. Good
Well,
cut
it's
to it.
clever. We should ask Blue Eye Kayla about Peggy Sue anyway. She'll give us more information.
Oh, yeah.
More information anyway. Hey, Konrad, thanks so much for being on the show. What we want to do next is the little thing we're going to call the Punters Politics Preschool.
Punters Politics Preschool.
Let's get into them right now. Keely from Campbelltown. Hello, Keely.
Hey guys.
Keely, what have you got for Punter Konrad? How can he help you out?
I'm really curious to know what a teal is and why they're sort of coming up and they're more popular now. I definitely noticed last election there were more teals. What are they, just kind of in simple terms?
What's a teal?
Oh, excellent question. Half of it's political propaganda strategy and half of it, Teal is a group of people that have decided these two majors are just taking the piss and I'm going to throw my hat in the ring myself.
Yep.
And a teal is the branding. It started with a lot of these rich inner Sydney and in Melbourne seats, people who are generally Liberal voters, but then swinging to, because of climate change and the environment, they want to support that.
Yeah.
So that's where the colour comes from. But then you get the propaganda machine from the Liberal Party who are losing these seats.
Yeah.
It's easier to attack someone if you lump them together.
Right. Okay. Create a common enemy situation.
Because they're all independent candidates that don't necessarily vote the same.
Yeah.
Right? They can vote differently. There's no party position. They're their own people. But if you call them a teal, like you'll know Albo will and Dutton will, that's how they group them together and be like, oh, those bloody teals, when they're all different.
Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense to you, Keely?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, that was awesome.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Well, buy a shirt. There you go. Very good.
PuntersPolitics.com. Yep, excellent. It's not free.
We'll send you the link, Keely. Rowan from Alexandria. Hey, Ro.
Hey, how are you going, guys?
We're good, mate. What do you got for Punter Konrad?
Yeah, look, Konrad, mate, a bit of question. Since
so.
I'm a younger person, I'm just wondering, I don't know, I've kind of given up on the hope of ever owning a home in the next 20 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's any realistic chance of it happening, or is there a government way that it could probably become more realistic in the next 20 years?
So, what party would help, I guess, young people in owning houses or being in the property market?
I want to be honest with you, young punts. I'm a millennial myself.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
and it sounds bad, but I saw some economist model both major parties' housing policies, which is, hey, let's give people more money, drive up prices. Both major parties have openly said, we want house prices to continue to go up. You know what that means? They continue to move out of reach. If I started saving 10 years ago for a house, I would still be, to this very day, I'm not kidding, 10 years away from getting my deposit. Wow. Right? So this is the situation where the policies of both major parties, if they were enacted today, both of them, sorry, Punter Rowan, you will be waiting 70 years.
Wow.
70 on the policies that have been proposed this time. The best case scenario from, like, say, someone like the Greens, who are like, they've said, we want houses to stay the same, which is still
fucked.
That, at best case, is 20 to 30 years away. If by some miracle they got everything they needed to happen. So, unfortunately, millennial punts, Gen Z punts, you're cooked.
Rowan.
But maybe the next generation, maybe that's who we're fixing it for.
Rowan, how old are you?
I'm 27.
You got any kids?
Not yet.
Okay, well...
Are we going to say sell them?
No, but maybe a kidney, Rowan. I don't know.
Not a kid, a kidney.
So it's for your kids. Maybe your kids can get a house one day.
Think of your unborn child, Rowan. Stop being
Give you sperm, Rowan.
Stop being so selfish, Rowan. Beck from Ashfield. Hi, Beck.
Hi.
Beck, what have you got for Punter Konrad?
I was wondering, what even is a hung parliament?
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
A hung parliament. This is great because Americans don't have this.
Yeah.
Our system is way better than America's system. They have to choose, hey, what do you want? You want a punch in the face or a kick in the nuts? Which one? You got to pick. And if you don't vote, you're getting one of them anyway. Whereas we in Australia, we get to say, how about a friendly hug? That'd be nice. Okay, no, we don't have... I see your preference, but in your electorate, that's not going to win. So... in the end, what do you want? A punch in the face, kick in the nuts?
Yeah.
And if enough people vote for the friendly hug party, like something else, the major parties have a lot of control. And if they lose too many seats, you need, okay, now fact check me because I might get, I think you need 76 seats to form government.
Yeah.
If they have less than that, then they have to do a deal with some of these quote unquote teals or independent politicians. They need
so they can have parliament.
So it means they don't have the power to rule.
Kind of, they have to do this crazy
As a majority.
thing.
There's no majority.
They have to do this crazy thing called negotiate. And they have to say, hey, our party machine and political donors and all our corporate backers that give us heaps of money and lobbyists want this rule.
Yeah.
Do you want it? And then some independents might be like, hang on, I kind of want to charge money for our gas instead of give it away for free.
Yeah.
Let's negotiate. And then it can, I think it'll be a good thing to try out because clearly some things aren't working that great, especially for old mate who wants a house. So maybe we've got to try something different.
That's interesting because I know Albo's come out and said that when Dutton asked him, he said that he won't join up with the Greens.
Yeah.
Is that so? What's the case then? If say Red gets up, right, but not enough to have a majority government, and they won't tee up with the Greens, what happens then? Will they have to connect with some of the Teals?
This is all big talk from like a big dog going into the fight. You're watching the MMA, like, I'm going to destroy you. I'm never going to negotiate.
When it comes down to it.
As soon as he's missing those seats, mate, he's going to go hat in hand to whoever's going to give him power. Hey, please, I promise I won't. I know I said some mean things, but that was just for show.
Adam, I didn't mean it.
Adam,
I didn't mean it.
And I think it's a crazy thing for any politician, especially Albo, to sit back and say, I will not negotiate.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, mate? A whole bunch of punts voted for not you, an independent or a Green or a One Nation or somebody else, and you're saying that whole group, I'm not going to talk to you. Right? Like you're a terrorist. We don't negotiate with terrorists. I think that's a bit dodgy, Albo.
Exactly.
If I voted for an independent in my election, you better bloody work with them because I put him there.
Well, it goes back to what you're saying. It's like they can lie on the campaign. They can lie. And then what's if they want
you
power?
said you wouldn't negotiate. No, I didn't. I never said that.
Prove it.
We've got footage of it.
That's AI.
It's AI.
That's good.
That's AI. It wasn't me. Adam said. I didn't like it.
All right,
I need to work on my Trump impression.
Let's do one more, guys. Ryan from DY. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, boys. Up yours?
Up yours. Thank you for using the official greeting of the show. Punter Konrad is here, Ryan. What have you got for him?
Mate, I just wanted to ask what your thoughts and opinions were with the Liberal Party's position for first home buyers accessing their super.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I would just say this. My dad didn't have to access his super to buy a house, did he? No. They were only 3 to 4 times his salary. Now a house is 13 times the salary. I mean, sure, maybe it'll help, but economists think it's likely to drive up prices.
Yeah.
But aren't you saying anyway, like the Liberals' policies, if they enact them right now, would be to increase house prices anyway. So even if you access your super, they're still going to get more and more expensive. So then it may get to a point where even accessing your super wouldn't make a slight difference.
To be honest, this is like we're just cleaning the windows of the Titanic right now.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, maybe if you're close enough to getting a house, accessing your super will give you one. That's a small portion of millennials.
Yeah.
Hey, good on you. If it helps, good on you. But the whole system, these policies that we're arguing about now, like I just said, we're 70 years away if we follow this trajectory. Like, Punter Ryan and Punter Rowan, like we're far away.
Yeah,
and policies like this, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Well, that's the thing, Ryan, access your super, buddy. It's fine. Just never retire. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And also don't die.
No, don't die. Because you can't afford a funeral. Ryan, thank you very much.
About a house, mate. You can't afford a place to put the coffin in.
Well, real estate is quite expensive.
Punter Konrad, thank you very much,
Thanks,
mate. Massive round of applause. We know how hectic this week is for you. Hopefully you get put your feet up a little bit over the next couple of weeks, but we really appreciate you coming in, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.